Hi guys, I hope that you're having a fabulous day. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with another The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly handbag updates number 8, I believe. So I hope that you enjoy it. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? As always, I like to include how long I've had these items because I think that's an important part of an update. Okay, so for today's video, I have 3 handbags and a small leather good. I do anticipate that this video is going to be quite chatty. So I don't know if you want to grab some snacks, some drinks, or what have you, but I am just letting you know. Okay, so I'm going to begin with the small leather good because the small leather good is actually not mine. Oh no, it belongs to the Hubs, and I think that this update is long overdue. So as many of you know, for those of you that don't know, my husband couldn't care less about luxury goods. He hears me talk about handbags and small leather goods all day long, bless his heart, but for him, it's not really his scene, it's not really his jam. He is a very outdoorsy type of person. He loves to go fishing, stuff like that. So luxury fashion houses and small leather goods and handbags, yeah, he's like, I really couldn't care less. So you can imagine my surprise when back in 2016, when we were in Hawaii at the Louis Vuitton boutique, he decided it's time for a Louis Vuitton wallet, a Louis Vuitton SLG. So I was over the moon. I think I was more excited than he was. And I kept thinking, oh my God, he's coming over to the dark side. He's coming over to the dark side over and over and over again. He didn't fully come over to the dark side because he only added one other small leather good to his collection, but still, I was super, super excited. Now the item that he picked up was the Louis Vuitton pocket organizer in the monogram canvas. The other small leather good that he has is another pocket organizer, but it's in all leather. And that one he doesn't really use very often. This item he has been pretty much using every day for the last 8 years. Okay, 8 years. It blows my mind. I'm like, don't you get stir crazy? Don't you want to switch into the other one? Don't you want to go for another wallet? He's like, no, I really don't. I didn't clean this wallet up or anything like that. I want you guys to see exactly how this item has been wearing for the last 8 years with daily use. He puts it in his pocket. It sits there all day long. He wears a lot of denim, which is a reason why I feel like it's been wearing the way that it has. But overall, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but still, this wallet has seen better days. So on the front side, you can definitely see that the monogram canvas has some rubbing because some of the little emblems aren't as, they're not as bright as they once were. On the back side, you can see the same thing. You actually have it, some of these little flowers here aren't as bright either. All right, now as far as the interior, there is some missing varnish up here. There is peeling leather here as well as throughout these credit card slots. So let me just bring it up. Hopefully it's focusing. Okay, once again, there's the back side. And you also have some cracking on the varnish, not on the canvas, on the little edges there. You can see that the edges of the wallet have a little bit of a flare going on right here. You can see it a little bit better there. And I also want to show you guys the little interior pocket there because it has some little fraying on that part right there. And he actually doubles up some of these cards, and it doesn't look like the card slots are too stretched out either, which I thought was pretty great. This back pocket, look at how dirty this thing is. I'm like, oh my God. When, you know, here I'm thinking it's like in pristine condition, right? And then I asked him to take everything out. So as he's taking everything out, I looked at the wallet. I'm like, oh my, what is going on with this wallet? Like, what? You can see that it has a little bit going on there. But like I said, not too bad, right? So I asked him if he can share the biggest pro and the biggest con so I can share that with you guys. He said that this wallet in his eyes really doesn't have any cons. He really likes it. He loves using it every day. The one thing that he mentioned is that sometimes because it is so slim, he doesn't feel like he has his wallet on him. So sometimes I've caught him like going like this, where's my wallet, where's my wallet? Because it's so thin. So sometimes it gives him like a little mini heart attack. I asked him about the pros and he said that what he really likes about this the most is that it really helps to streamline redefine what he carries with him in his wallet. Because before, his older wallets, he would carry receipts in there from like 3-4 years ago and stuff like that. He just had a bunch of unnecessary stuff. So he likes that this helps him to carry just what he needs without carrying more than. So he likes that. He likes that he can double it up. And even then it doesn't feel like it's too uncomfortable because like I said before, sometimes he doesn't even feel like he has it on him. But he really likes this style, you know, so maybe I can get in there and be like, hey, let's get another one. It's time, you know, but yeah, he really enjoys it. And I asked him if he thinks that it's a pain in the butt to have to fold his cash multiple times in order to put it in these little credit card slots. And he said no, because he really doesn't carry cash too often. And when he does, he's able to put it in this little slip pocket here without a problem. So he's like, no, it's not a problem. It's more for my credit cards, my driver's license, and that's it. You know, he's very kind of like bare bones to a certain extent, but for him, this is the ideal wallet. Overall, not too bad for 8 years of daily use. I asked him, do you recommend it? He said, absolutely 100%. Moving on to handbags, with the first one being the Louis Vuitton side trunk in the MM size in the monogram canvas. So I've had this bag for 1 year and 8 months, and I think it is absolutely fabulous. Last year, it was one of my most used bags. This year, same thing. I cannot get enough of it. I cannot put it down. It is in constant rotation. I just think it is absolutely amazing. It has been wearing fabulously. No issues with pop stitches, no issues with cracking canvas. I do have quite a bit of hairline scratches on the hardware. That's to be expected. That is normal wear and tear, especially because it has so much hardware on the corners here. But in all honesty, that is something that I welcome. I've told you guys before that with this, because it's kind of like a trunk, I want it to resemble like an old school trunk, and I want it to have a little bit more character, which is why I like those scratches. I like that it gives it a little bit more of a story. I know that not everyone feels that way, but that is absolutely how I feel about this handbag. Now, one of the things that I love about this bag, actually there are many things that I love about this bag. In my opinion, there are no cons. I love the versatility that it has. It's amazing because it does come with 2 different handles or 2 different straps. So you have this top handle that is removable, that you can either use it as a shoulder bag, you can use it on the crook of your arm as a hand carry bag. Sometimes I do like to use it as a shoulder bag, and I like that I still have quite a bit of clearance here, not too much. So if I'm wearing a heavier jacket, then I anticipate that I will have some type of rubbing here. But I like that you can remove it, but it also comes with, hang on, it also comes with a removable, adjustable crossbody strap slash longer shoulder strap, and it has so many different adjustments. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different adjustments, so you have a lot of play. So if you are a little bit on the shorter side, this bag works for you. If you're a little bit on the taller side, this handbag works for you as well. Now, personally, I don't really use this too often. I think that the entire time that I've had this handbag, I've maybe used it maybe 4 or 5 times with this strap. It's not uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. It's not the most comfortable either. I don't find that this strap ends up digging into my chest or digging into my skin. Definitely nothing like that. But just for me personally, I don't really like the way that it looks as a crossbody bag. I prefer it more as a hand carry, as, you know, kind of like this. Sometimes I'll take this off and I'll add a chain just to give it a little bit more oomph, a little bit more mini, a lot more hardware. But either way, I like that you have so much versatility with this handbag. I mean, I think it's so incredibly beautiful. I think it's one of the best looking handbags that Louis Vuitton currently has in their lineup, because it reminds me of old school Louis Vuitton, because it has so much hardware and the hardware is so insanely chunky. I know that a lot of people aren't fond of it because they feel like there's too much going on and it makes it look very gaudy, but I wholeheartedly disagree. I think that it adds to the beauty of this bag. As far as the interior goes, you do have that microfiber lining. It is just one open compartment. There are no slip pockets. There are no interior zippers, which I like as well because it really helps me to maximize whatever I want to carry in here. I like that I can see everything at a glance as well. And yeah, I've never had any issues getting in and out of the bag either because as you guys can see, I feel that it has a pretty generous opening considering the style that it is. And another thing that I wanted to point out is this little monogram tab here in between the zipper and the interior of the bag. I love that it's there because when you go to zip up your bag, you don't have to worry that your items are going to spill out of that little opening there. So I think that's a really, really nice detail. This handbag has quite a bit of security going on because not only do you have a top zip closure, but you also have the S-lock. So if you are in a crowded area and you want a little bit more peace of mind, the fact that you can zip it up and then just kind of, have a little S-lock closure on there, I think is pretty great. It's not too heavy. That's another thing that I wanted to point out because it does have quite a bit of hardware. So obviously it's not going to be lightweight either, but it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like I'm carrying around a brick or anything like that, even when I have it fully loaded. But the one thing, or actually one of the things I should say that I am most obsessed about with this bag are definitely the details. The details on the corner here, when you have these little LVs throughout, I just think, I don't know, man. I think it is absolutely insanely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Another thing that I wanted to mention is this strap. Because it is a little bit on the thicker side, you don't have to worry that it's going to be rolling off of your shoulder. Plus, I also think that it's quite comfortable because these edges, you don't have to worry that they're going to be digging into your shoulder whenever you carry it this way either. So I just wanted to point that out. You know me, the more information I can give you, the better. Now, I do have to point out one other thing when it comes to the hardware, because even though it is absolutely fantastic and beautiful, it is also quite noisy because that's just from me moving this little top handle. And if you go to set this down on a glass countertop, it's gonna sound like you are breaking it. Because I know I did that when I was at Chanel. I was like, oh my God, you could hear it throughout the entire boutique. So, I mean, some people might be turned off by that because it's so noisy, but I love that. I love that clanking sound because I feel like you can hear me coming a mile away. That might be a negative in so many people's eyes, but not to me. To me, the noisier it is, I don't know, the more I love it. I don't know. It's just that added ASMR that I get whenever I'm walking around with this handbag. But I just wanted to point it out because it is quite noisy. And then when I add a chain strap to this, my goodness, you can hear me in a whole other state. So I feel like I'm my own little one-man marching band whenever I use this bag, but that's okay. I welcome it with open arms because I think it is absolutely fantastic. And see, just looking at it, just talking about it, I am grinning like an idiot. My smile is from ear to ear because I think it is that wonderful. Okay, moving on to handbag number 2. That is the Chanel Classic Flap Medium Large in the black caviar leather with the silver hardware. So I have had this handbag for 9 years, and every year since I got it, it has been one of my most used bags of all time. It's either in my top 10 or my top 5 most used bags of every single year, and I think it is absolutely fantastic. In my opinion, this is the perfect size when it comes to a double flap because it's not too big, it's not too small, and it has been wearing amazingly well. I haven't had any issues with corner wear, no pop stitches. I barely have any type of hairline scratches on the hardware here. And I have used this bag in every single type of weather that you can think of, and it's still going strong. I mean, like I said, I put it to the test. I've never babied it. I've never conditioned it either, even though they suggest that you should, because I feel like the oils in my hands do all the work for me. And like I said, it has been wearing amazingly well. I think it's wonderful. Absolutely amazing. And the funniest thing about this handbag, and I know that I've talked about this in other videos, and I probably sound like a broken record, but who cares? The funniest thing about this is the combo that it has, because you do have the black caviar with the silver hardware. Normally, when it comes to black handbags, I do prefer to see gold hardware. I love that combo. It's probably one of my favorite combos of all time. But the silver hardware that this has with the black caviar, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a casual element to it. I'm not saying that that gold hardware is all that you need to be dressed to the nines and all that stuff when it comes to your handbags, but this combo, for some reason, I feel makes it look a lot more casual, a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more dressed down in the best possible way. I don't know if I sound crazy saying that out loud, but let me know if you guys feel the same way. But maybe that's the reason why I end up reaching for it so much as well, because it has that little bit of a casual element to it. But in general, I think that this size is great. I'm able to fit all of my daily essentials and then some. I have filled this bag up to the brim. I have carried a little bit less, and I think that it is so insanely comfortable. I have never used an organizer in here, and I've never thought about using an organizer in this bag either, just because it already has quite a bit of structure. And I feel that without an organizer, I am able to carry a little bit more with me. When it comes to organizers, I prefer to use them to maintain the shape of a handbag, not to organize my items. But with this one, because again, it has so much structure, I don't feel that I really need an organizer. Definitely not. But as you guys can see, the leather also looks amazing. I do have some scratches here and there, not too bad. But there we go. And then, like I said, no corner wear on this handbag either. I know that it might be a little bit hard to tell because it is black. There we go. And then on the bottom, look at that. For a bag that's 9 years old, that has been in constant rotation, I mean, over and over and over again, I think it has held up amazingly well. And like I said, I do have some hairline scratches on this hardware here, not too bad. This back pocket, sometimes I use it for my phone, even though it's popping out because my phone obviously is not this small. But other times I end up kind of having like quick cash in here. All right, but once again, let me show you guys this other flap here. I don't really use this secret zipper either. Sometimes I have put cash in here. But for the most part, I just leave it empty. I do prefer to go for more compact SLGs. That way I am able to maximize my space. Now with this handbag, another thing that I really like is actually the length that you have for this strap, because I do prefer to use it doubled up as a shoulder bag. And you can see that I do have quite a bit of clearance here from my arm to the top of the bag. So even if I am wearing a thicker coat, I'm not saying like a big old giant jacket either, but if I am wearing a thicker coat, I don't have to worry that it's going to be rubbing on here. It's going to be too uncomfortable. But I like the strap drop that it has. Not only that, you can also use it on a single strap. I know that some people do use this as a crossbody bag. Personally, I despise the way that this looks as a crossbody bag. So again, it's just like this for me. But I like that it's not too long either, and no problems with any type of wrinkling on the leather either. Because of course, when you go to open it up, you're going to see those wrinkles here, right? But as you guys can see, the wrinkles aren't, you know, on the leather there. Now, the number one question I've gotten with this handbag is, with as often as I use it, with as much as I love it, with as much as I rave about it and all that other good stuff, would I still buy it at its current retail price? Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think any handbag is worth $12,000, $11,000, $10,000 either. All right. That's just my personal opinion. To each their own. If that's something that you want to do, by all means do it. Rock your bag like it's nobody's business. But in my opinion, no handbag is worth that. And at that point, it would be a handbag that I would just appreciate from afar. That's just the way that I see it. You might feel differently, and that's totally okay. But nonetheless, I think that this handbag is fantastic. Like I said, I use it over and over again. And another reason why I also like jumping into this handbag is because it does have quite a bit of sentimental value. The Hubs gifted this to me, and every time that I use it, it just reminds me of the day. It reminds me of everything that happened, you know? So like I said, it has a lot of memories attached to it. But besides the memories, I like that it has a little bit of versatility. I love the size. I love that it fits everything that I need. And it's also very, very comfortable, you know, not to mention that you can use this bag. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. It goes with everything and anything in your collection. It is absolutely classic and not to mention iconic. That brings us to our last handbag, which is the Loewe Mini Flamenco in the beautiful soft white Napa leather. So I've had this bag for a year and I think it is absolutely fantastic. I know that they recently revamped or relaunched the Flamenco line by adding a chain to it, and those are absolutely insane. The leather on those handbags is amazing, absolutely amazing. But I am still a huge fan of the OG. This Napa leather, I've said it before and I will say it again, it is like butter, baby. It is absolutely fantastic. I use it the most in spring and summer, especially because you guys know how I feel about white leather handbags, but I used it quite a bit and I personally haven't had any issues with color transfer. And like I said, when I bought it, I was not going to baby it. I didn't put it in a bubble. I have used my dark colored clothing with this handbag and I haven't had any issues with color transfer. No pop stitches, no scratches, nothing like that. This leather is so smooshy soft. It smells fantastic. It smells amazing. Like I just want to sit there and sniff the bag over and over again. My God, I'm such a weirdo. But anyways, I've said it before that when it comes to Loewe and their leather, it is out of this world. I feel like there's really nothing else to compare it to. I think that they do leather goods the best, or one of the best fashion houses to do leather, because you can just feel the quality that it has. So I'm going to bring it up again. I'm sorry if it gets really dark, but as you guys can see, no problems with scratches, no problems whatsoever on these edges. But I like that this bag has so much versatility as well, because I know that it might look like a leather dust bag. I said that before because, I mean, the shape of it kind of looks like a little leather dust bag, and it looks, someone said that it looks similar to the Chanel 22. How dare you? How dare you compare this beautiful bag to the Chanel 22? You guys know how I feel about that one, but that's besides the point. I like that it has so much versatility because it also comes with a removable, adjustable strap that you can use as a crossbody bag or as a longer shoulder strap. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 different adjustments. And as you guys can see, the adjustments, they're probably about 1 inch to 2 inches apart. So you have a little bit more play with it. So they're not too close together, which I think is pretty great because it gives you, again, a little bit more versatility with how you want to use it. So if you are a little bit taller, you can use it longer. If you are a little bit on the shorter side, you don't have to worry that the bag is going to be too overwhelming because, again, you have those adjustments that I feel are pretty generous as well. But this leather, when it comes to skinny shoulder straps, sometimes they're a pain in the ass because sometimes they are so incredibly uncomfortable. They dig into your skin, but because this is the same type of leather, it is just, I mean, you don't even feel this leather. You don't feel the strap on your shoulder here. Even if I have the bag fully loaded, I don't have to worry that this is going to be digging into my shoulder or if I have it crossbody, because I have used this. I think I've actually used it a handful of times. Not my favorite. Again, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of a crossbody bag, but I do appreciate that it is so insanely soft. I mean, look at that. It's like you could do this and it still looks as good as new. So I just had to mention that. Now, even though it does come with that strap, I did end up getting the Loewe donut chain, the gold donut chain to go with it. And this for me has been such a game changer. So this is the donut chain in the gold hardware. They have quite a few now. Now they have a little bit more details to them. But I love that it's very simple. So you just have the little clasps at the bottom. But I also like the length that it has because I think that this is a perfect shoulder bag. But I will get to this little strap in just a second. Let me show you guys the interior because it is just one open compartment. You don't have any zippered pockets. You don't have any slip pockets or anything like that. You just have the little tab that says made in Spain, but it's just very simple. And then you have the little D-ring so that way you can attach the strap that it comes with, or you can attach any other chain that you want to. So very simple, but I feel like this is the type of bag that just speaks volumes because of its simplicity. So as you guys know, the reason why it's called a flamenco is because when you pull on these tabs here, it's supposed to resemble the skirt of a flamenco dancer, which I think is incredible. I love the history that this bag has because if I'm not mistaken, The flamenco was first introduced in the 1970s. Again, don't quote me on it, but this silhouette has been around for a very long time, and I just think it's wonderful. I know that they revamped it as well, but I love it. I think it's great. So again, it might look like a little leather dust bag, and it might look like it's just kind of a small leather good that you can fit inside of your bag, which you can. So it has, again, a little bit more versatility. But I like that it's very unique. There is no other handbag like this in my collection, and I feel that because of the type of leather that they're using and the attention to detail, it really ends up standing out in my collection as well, besides the silhouette that it has. But yeah, so you could just open it up like so. I haven't had any problems with any type of gnarly scratches opening up the bag either, because that's another thing that I had someone ask. They're like, okay, is it kind of a pain in the butt to do this? And do you see those gnarly wrinkles on here? I don't see any gnarly wrinkles. So when you go to take off the tabs, you could just do that. And as you guys can see, there are no funky wrinkles on there. So you can use it like so. You can have it cinched in, and it does have the magnetic closure. And the magnetic closure, it has that soft closure as well. It kind of reminds me of the soft closure cabinets that I have in my kitchen. So I'm a big, big fan of that. But not only can you pull on these tabs here and have it look like that, but you can also, hang on, there's a few different ways. You can also pull on this part of the tab. And if you wanted to use it as a little wristlet, you can do that as well. I've seen some people use this as a handle. Hang on, let me show you guys, because I feel like there's a bunch of little different ways that you can incorporate this handbag. So you can use it like that as well. You know, so I don't know. I think it's so great. I think it's such a fun little handbag. And again, I don't have anything like this in my collection. But let me show you guys what it looks like. See, and everything goes back to normal. You don't have to worry that, you know, you're going to stretch out the leather or anything like that. In fact, the more that you use this handbag, the more as it ages, it'll start to get softer, which I think is fantastic. But let me attach the donut chain so you guys can see it a little bit better, because to me, like I said before, this is a major game changer, and this is perfect to use as a shoulder bag. Even though I do like it as a shoulder bag, I actually like to use it as a little hand carry bag, kind of like a wristlet. So you can use it like so if you wanted to. You can close it up, or you can cinch this in, and then there we go. I love it. I love it. Again, look at the length that you have on the donut chain, but it's super cute. Absolutely adorable. And one thing that it did worry me at first, I was like, okay, whenever I go to open the bag, because when you go to open it, you're going to be pulling on this leather here to open it up, right? So I was thinking, oh man, this thing is going to get trashed. You're going to see a bunch of wear marks on here. So far, so good. No issues on there. Like I said, there is no color transfer. There is no wear and tear on that part either, because that's how I end up opening it up. And I've been able to carry quite a bit in there. I will admit that when I do carry a little bit more, it can feel quite heavy, especially because you know me, I like to push the envelope. I end up putting a little bit more and a little bit more. So for this handbag, I do prefer to go for more compact items, again, so I can maximize my space, but I can easily fit anywhere from 7 to 8 small leather goods in here, no problem. I've been able to fit my medium SLGs in here, no problem. And look at that. I love that it's spacious. You can literally see everything at a glance. I think it is amazing. I love this handbag so much that I am so incredibly tempted to get it in the next size up, because I think it would look amazing. But it's so simple, like I said before, but it speaks volumes, and it has so much character. It has so much personality on its own that I am absolutely loving. Plus, it's available in a variety of different colors. It's available in a variety of different sizes, whether you go for the OG revamp style like this one, or you go for the new style with the chain. Either way, they are all absolutely fantastic, and I promise you, you will fall in love. You will fall head over heels in love when it comes to Loewe's leather. I promise you. Absolutely die-hard promise right there. But anyways, that does it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to give you a little bit more info on these items, especially if you're looking to add them to your collection. If you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.